Hey everyone, it's Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding and continuing on with the build for Olympia. So this episode we do some railings, we do the rat lines on the mast, put the mast on. So yeah, moving right along. This is kind of like a one of two video because I'm starting some of the rigging too as I'm going in this. But obviously I'm not doing it all in one video. So thank you very much for watching. Let's get started. Okay, here we go, moving right along. I am going to go ahead and get the funnels ready to paint. Now the masts get painted the same color, so I'm not going to paint these yet. We're going to start this video with putting the mast together. So first we need piece 90, which is this one. So we're going to get these cut out and assembled, and then I'll paint it all in one piece. That's kind of what my plan looks like for that. So it seems decent. Not a whole lot of flashing on it, so not a lot to worry about. A little bit here and there, but nothing major, and you can almost knock it off with your finger in most cases. That might not actually be flashing, so I'm not going to go crazy with it. Okay, so we got that. And then I'm looking in the order. So we go down with this set of parts and up with this set of parts. So we got 89. So that is this guy here. So I'm just going to kind of follow the instructions one by one as we're going here and not try to reinvent the wheel and get fancy with it, because that's what happened with the boats, and they slowed me down on the previous video a little bit because I had to just redo things multiple times. Now, I'm not going to put 89 in because that's supposed to be flat black. We'll bring that, or we'll do that after we paint. Oh, okay, so this just becomes the floor of the crow's nest here. So nothing too difficult to do there. It kind of looked in the picture, the directions a little bit harder than it was. So this just goes right in here like that. Don't be afraid to give it a little pressure. Okay, now we got piece 94. So that is a boom, it looks like, we'll call it. It might not be a boom, but I'm going to call it a boom. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure, because that's how it goes. 94. 4-mast lower boom. It is actually a boom. It has the name there. That makes me feel a little better. I don't intentionally miss ship terminology. It's just I know some of it. I don't know all of it. I love ships. I'm not a sailor. So I do try, but it is what it is. Okay. It shows this flat. So I guess I'll do it that way. All right, next up we have number 92, which is this guy. And just gonna file off the edging from the sprue. And this does have guns mount to it, so that's pretty cool. That comes all the way down to this point here, so that's not hard either. So we're just going to put a little glue around the mounting hole here. And it would appear my lower boom just came off. That's a little annoying. I'll do some glue from the other side here, just to give it a little persuasion to stay on. So the guns will get painted separate. Now we have 95 and 96. So 95 is over here. So is 96. Okay. And these are our yards. Now, on a traditional older sailing ship, these would have been like tied to the mast. I doubt it would be that way on something that was metal, so I'm not going to do that unless I see evidence in pictures that I should. But I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Oh, that is why when I thought that was flashing earlier, it's not flashing. That's just basically a stop for the yard arm to keep it in its proper location. Okay, so I just want to make sure it stays level. Seems that seems good. Okay, now this one goes this way. So let me just clean it up. And after this, I'll do the other mast, and because I don't even know if I'm building the forward or the aft right now, I'll have to figure that out. I'm sure it tells me, I just didn't look yet. But I'll do the next one, and then I'll probably do that off camera, because I think add-on wise there's going to be plenty that I'm doing through this video, so I don't want to tie it all up just in me building a mast that is essentially going to be identical to this one. There might be a little bit of variation, but looking at the direction over here, it looks pretty similar. So that will be that. You know, I must have hit it with the accelerator. Yep, and once you do that, you pretty much shot your glue. I guess a little bit still there. That's good. Come on. It's a little bit of a challenge in that you gotta kind of hold it while you're trying to let it dry. I'm gonna have to buy another bottle of accelerator soon. I'm getting low. Okay, I'm gonna pause this, and we will get ready to paint it. So that will go right there for now. I'm gonna probably build this up a little bit so I can drill a hole into it to support that better, but that's okay. So I'm gonna pause it for right now, and I'll be back. Okay, so we are about ready to paint. I'm going to go ahead and get this ready to spray up. So the color I'm using for the buff again is Vallejo medium flesh tone. So that's what I used on the guns, and it seems to come out nice, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to get this mixed up and sprayed, and then we'll come back and put the funnels on and the mast. I think, what was I going to say? Yeah, this video is going to be the funnels and the mast, and the next one will be rigging, so that's kind of where we're at with this. So I'm just mixing this up and getting ready to go over and spray. And yeah, that'll be that. So I'll be right back. Give me a minute here. Well, in your world, it'll only take about a second, but for me, it'll take a while. Okay, here we are, and we have a painted mast and 2 painted funnels. So we're gonna put these together, and I'm gonna use photo etch on these steps. Yeah, steps on the ladders here for the funnels, but I'm gonna do it like basically over the cast molded ones, just because I didn't want to distort the funnel and end up losing the circular shape of it, or the round shape of it. So I just figured it was going to be better to just kind of go over the kit piece basically that's there, and I think it'll be fine. I've done that before on other kits and not really had any problems, so we shall see, but I do believe it'll be fine. Alright, so there's the first one. Oh, well, this is actually the rear. Here is the front one. Now, in the other previous video, I don't know, 2 or 3 ago, we already painted the tops for the funnels, so they are ready to go. And they basically just pop on to the top. I will say they don't really go on overly easy though. That's kind of weird, but took a little bit of a push. But it did go on. I do think once the funnels get on, it's really going to make the ship start to look, you know, the part at this point. So that one drops in right there. I'm going to have to get a stand of some sort put together here soon now, because obviously the hull being curved will be kind of annoying to work on. I could always just use styrofoam in the meantime. I've done that before too, until I get it ready to go. There we go. That looks good. I just want to make sure it's straight. Looking good. That one's crooked. So this is something I've noticed a lot with this kit. Like, pieces do not fit in where they're supposed to very well. It could be paint. I have my doubts. But I've found myself having to do that more often than not with almost everything. Okay. Still, the glue apparently has lost its tack. Okay, try that again. I'm just making sure it's straight. Okay, there we go. So we got that. We got this little piece here that, oh good. I'm gonna have to touch that up. Okay, so now the next step will be the mast going on. So the front mast goes right through that hole right there. So I'm gonna make the hole. And that is interesting. There's no hole there. Oh, I know why. The lights. That could be a minor problem, but I don't think so. I need to make sure I don't cut the wires for my lighting, because that would be a problem. I want to make sure I didn't already. Okay, no, I did not. Good. So the wires for everything were glued right there. So I'm going to use plan B, which is basically how the China 3D masts were on Titanic. And I'm going to cut that base and we're going to glue it right on there. I know it doesn't give the same support per se, but this is exactly how my Titanic is without having any lower support, and that ship sails on lakes and moves around quite a bit, honestly, and I have not had a problem. So it's just the reality of what I gotta do, since I did that with the lighting like that. And I think we'll be okay. And this isn't gonna have a lot of force on it either. I mean, there'll be some tension from the rigging, but that really won't be anything drastic. Solid-ish. Okay. So, next up, we're going to do the same in the back here, which this will not be a problem on this one, so I can run this as normal. I actually can't believe I did that. I wasn't even thinking about that hole in the front. But, like I said, not a big deal. Here we go again. Another spot that just does not fit. I mean, granted, it could be the decking, but I have my doubts because nothing else has quite been right. I'll scrape the paint down here too, just to give it a little bit of an added space to go through. Okay, we'll give it another try here. That is frustrating. So, if you decide to build this, be aware of that. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so from here, we're going to probably, I gotta decide if I want to start the rigging or if I want to do the fences, or railings, sorry. I gotta decide if I want to do the railings or if I want to do the rigging. So I'm gonna kind of think that over for a minute or two here. The rigging on the instructions is nowhere near what we're actually going to do. It gives some of it, but not anything near what I plan on doing. So, yeah. I guess in the meantime, a minute while I'm thinking, I can put the tops on those lifeboat, or those boat davits. So these just go here on top. That's short. Two of them are shorter than the other. Like, way short. That's bizarre. I'm perplexed by that. Oh, I'm wondering if those two are for the rear. Yeah, they can't be. There's one more. I wonder if I painted a wrong part here and not realized it. I'll have to check that out in a minute here. Because something is not right. that one would have fit. Okay, so this one's probably a front one. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So they are different sizes, and I didn't realize that when I took them off the sprue, because I didn't look at the part number. Okay, good. That's good, because I was getting kind of worried there. I'm like, what in the world? There we go. Okay, now I gotta look at, I know what this is. This is the rear flagpole. Flag, jackstaff, whatever we call it. So that goes in there. Okay. Well, I'm not doing that right now. All right, let me start looking at some rigging pictures, because I do think it's going to be better if I rig before I rail. It just seems to be my opinion, because if I'm tying in there, I run the risk of damaging a rail. But I'm gonna look at it and make a decision. I'll be back. All right, so I've started doing some of the rigging. I'm not gonna do a ton of it yet. I'm just doing a few spots that will be more of a pain once we get the railings on. So I'm going to work on this while I paint up railings and get them ready to go. Basically right now I'm just doing the part that goes here to here to here, and I did it here to here to here. I did the funnel stays on the forward funnel, so that is on already. I'm using plans off of the internet that basically show, you know, mostly what the ship looks like. So yeah, it's the directions that came with the kit, go figure, aren't overly detailed, which, you know, considering what the kit is, that doesn't really surprise me too much. But it would be nice if there were more detailed pictures that came with the kit. So I've been using some pictures that I see online, and yeah, well, that's basically how we're going to go with them. Anyway, I'm not going to do that right now while I'm talking. The next part that we are also going to need, I need the ladders that go up the funnels. So I'm using the leftover Titanic ladders for that. And I'm going to use the funnel ladder once I find that sheet here. And then I'm also going to use the, what do you call it? The lines that go up, you know, the, not grab lines, but the, rat lines. Good Lord. So I'm going to use the rat lines to, or shrouds, I guess they'd be the shrouds actually, from the kit, not from the KA set, but because I have the KA set on my model, obviously. But I'm gonna find it. I know I still have it here, because I just saw it the other day. I must have just missed it. But anyway, the other thing I want to paint up is all of these pieces of railing here. So I have this, and then I have a bunch left from Titanic. These are Bismarcks right here, which I think most of them will work for the outer perimeter. I'm gonna have to cut off a layer, I know that already, much like I did with when I created the step ladders on the side there. So anyway, I'm going to work on finding all of the PE that I'm using. I'm going to get that cut out and start painting it. While I'm waiting for it to dry, we will continue on tying down some of the rigging to get that taken care of and done. There's several ladders, but it's not the one I'm looking for. So yeah, let me find this stuff. I'll get it kind of peeled off of the sprue and get it ready for paint, and then I'll come back and kind of show you what we're using. So I'll be back. Okay, for the rat lines, I'm actually using some of the 1350 set, so I misspoke there a little bit, but I have to cut them down because they are too tall for this ship. So what I basically did was look at a picture and basically lined up where they need to land on the mast versus where they land on the ship, and then I'm just basically cutting it to that size. I already kind of pre-measured these, so you know, obviously it's done already, but I know like the back one, or the stern main mast, it would be, needs to be about there. So essentially that's what I'm doing. It's actually a little bit long yet, so I'll cut that down a little bit more. And then I'm just matching it up to the other one and making that cut the same. So that's how I'm doing that. And the front, the bow, or the whatever you want to call that, this mast is already done. I have it here on my tape off thing ready to go. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So I'm going to cut this one down, get it on there. Then I'm going to cut the piece of brass for the funnel ladders and get them going. So you can see here the stern one is a little bit longer than the bow side. Yeah, and then for the front main mast, I have a ladder that I'm using specifically for that, so I got to get that and cut that out. And where'd it go? I just had it. Weird. Literally just had it. All right, well, I'll find that and get it ready to paint. Okay, so here's the first set of everything. These are the steps for the side of the ship. Back over here. This one's the one for up in the front. This is the two for right in here. Then we got parts of this whole setup that I'll be putting together once it's all dry and ready to go. So I'm going to get that painted, and then I'm going to start doing the railing, and we'll be back. Okay, so I debated how to go with the funnel stays, but I opted to basically do it a fairly easy way, only because I didn't really want to make this more complex than it needed to be. I thought about using photo etch funnel stays that I had left over from the trumpeter kit for Titanic, but it just seemed a little excessive. So I just dipped that in some CA glue, and I'm sticking it right on the top of the funnel cap up here, letting it kind of set for a minute. And then I cut my line so that it's a little long on purpose. I slip it down between the boat davit there, and now I'm going to line up where I need it to come onto the deck here. That's the only problem doing this. Sometimes you end up popping the the glue off and have to redo it. But still, it just seems to be a better option, all in all. Yeah, the only problem, like I said, is sometimes you pop it off, but for the most part, you don't. So now we're just going to figure out the length I need it to be. So I'm going to hold it onto the deck with the tweezer, and I want it to be so that it's not necessarily hitting that boat. So I just need to cut it right where the tweezer ends. So, boom. Now we're going to take a dip of glue again onto the deck, right where that will kind of line up here. I knew that was going to happen. I got it stuck to my tweezer. Okay, we're going to have to redo it. Sorry. Okay. And that one had enough of the adhesive spray to keep it basically, or make it seal, or yeah, set up. That's what I'm trying to say. Quickly. Okay. Now I'm just going to do the same thing here. Cut it long. Get it underneath the davit there. And that's basically where I need it to terminate. Right there. And I broke it off, but that's okay. Okay. So I'm gonna re-glue again. Okay. So that is going to get glued essentially right behind the davit. I didn't have enough glue, I don't think. There we go. There. Okay, so I got my funnel stays on. Next up, I'm going to start doing some of the railing along here. Now this will get an interior and an exterior rail for that section. So this is leftover, or not leftover, but Bismarck railing that I'm not using because I'm using the KA stuff, so I won't need this. And I am going to make it too high rail, not 3-runged. Oh crap, I just thought about something. So this railing should actually be buff. So the top up here needs to be buff. I will use white down here and white down here. So this is not for loss that I have white, because I'm going to need it. And of course along the whole bottom deck will be white too. But yeah, that top section there all should be buff. So I'm going to have to wait on that one. I didn't paint the buff yet. So I'm just going to cut out the whole entire section of it quick so that I have it ready to go, and then I can trim it as needed. Now this video is getting close to the end. Obviously we're not done with the ship yet, but we're going to probably end up cutting off soon, and I'll do probably a railing video, a full railing video, and a rigging video. Okay, perfect. So now this will end up going along. I guess I'll start one here and work my way around, or I could go up here, but I think that's supposed to be buff too. Yeah, I'm trying not to, I don't want to waste the railing, and I know I'm going to need it, so I guess I could just go ahead and start putting it along the deck here, and it does clear right under the gun just perfectly, so that's exciting. That was actually not on purpose, but I'll take it. So I'm debating, I think I want it on the inside of those. Yeah, I do. Okay, so let me get some glue on here. And I'm only going to glue partial. And I'm gluing right to the edge of the deck. Boy, that worked out perfect, because this one piece will come all the way down to the steps here, where it'll be open for the gangway there going off the side, not the gangway, but the sideboarding steps. So I couldn't have planned that one out any better if I tried. Just gotta bump that up a little bit. Okay. Now, on the real ship, I do believe that these are actually chain, so I'm going to kind of try to push some of these down and get the effect that the real ship has just from center here. Come on. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Oh, that's knocking, because it's putting pressure on it. That's why. Alright, well, I'm going to play with that, and I'll come back. I got to paint these rails for the top, too. Okay, so I already put the railings all on the sides now, all the way across on the bottom here, on the main deck, I mean. And I just put the rat lines up. I did have to trim them down a little bit more. Must have mismeasured or something, but in any case, I got 3 of them on. Just getting ready to drop this one on now, so I'm dropping it in some glue, and basically we're just going to drop it so it's symmetrically in the same location as the other side. And I want to get no tension on it. Okay. So that's about how I want that. All right, there we go, that's on. So I just painted up my rails for up here. They're drying right now. I think I'm gonna wrap up this video and we'll just make this part 1 of 2. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Please give a like and subscribe, and we'll continue soon.